football, as it's called here in Vienna, is one of the most popular sports that people enjoy watching and playing. While the two main pro teams are SK Rapid Wien and Austria Wien, who have a major rivalry here in Vienna. For this video, we're taking a more bottoms-up approach and when looking at sports culture. So the reason I'm here today is we're watching this very competitive intramural soccer game. And later, we're going to get some opinions from players on both teams about sports culture and soccer here in Vienna. Go. Callum, how are you feeling pre-game? You've got some tough competition out here. How are you feeling?
These kids look like they mean business. Yeah, I'm worried, but I think if we just pull together, it'll be okay.
Three, two, one, America.
As soccer is one of the most, if not the most popular sport in Vienna, as many Viennese people that I spoke with told me, it was really cool for us to get to play. Not even at the professional level, but at a beginner and more casual level. It was such a community bonding experience that we saw when playing kids from the community in multiple games throughout our trip. How are you feeling, Tiffany?
Tired.
How do you feel about them getting a goal on you guys?
Hey, it's all for fun. I love a good game.
It's really interesting how none of us here speak the same language, yet we're all communicating through soccer. You can hear it in the way that they're yelling at each other and trash talking in German. What do you think about the language barrier?
I think we can start to understand each other, and I think our hand signals are working well too. I can understand what this one is pretty well. There was one with the Twin Towers, which I thought was kind of insensitive, but pretty good. We're gonna see how it goes in half two.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So, how long have you been playing soccer?
6 years.
6 years?
Yeah.
Do you guys play a lot here?
I played 2 years here, but I don't know about play.
Do you know them, or do you all just play together?
I can hear and 3 of them.
Okay. And do you normally just play with people you see like them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because we love games against big girls.
Do you like beating them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
7-6 for us.
7-6! Oh, okay. On a more serious note, there is a deep history in this sport as well, as we learned at the Mauthausen concentration camp. Directly outside of the camp's walls, next to a smaller extension of the camp for those deemed unusable or unworkable, were the remnants of a soccer field. Our guide explained to us how the soccer team, the SS Mauthausen, would practice and compete on this field, which was really surprising to me at first. Assimilation into the community was a very important part of the concentration camp ideology and a way to normalize the horrors happening just off the field. People would attend the games at Mauthausen and be able to see, smell, and hear the camp, yet were able to disconnect from that and instead enjoy the game. This is just one example of how the SS assimilated itself into communities and gave justification for their wrongdoings inside of the camp. There was a swimming pool as well, where people would enjoy and swim with similar assimilation strategies. It was really interesting to compare the community of soccer that we experienced in the park with the next day learning about this awful assimilation tactic using the same sport that they used at Mauthausen.
Und heißt Max Lemper.
So if you walk down Neubegasse Street in Vienna's 7th district, between a thrift shop and a villa, find a small sign for a gym. Cross the garden and you'll get to Lemperg Fitness Center, Vienna's oldest family-owned, still operating gym. So by American standards, the place is pretty small, but it's very well kept. The second floor has an impressive variety of weights and machines, and you'll rarely find more than 3 or 4 of the people working out at once. Maximilian Lemperg and his brother Rudolf founded this studio in 1977. From this gym, the brothers trained for and won multiple bodybuilding titles in Austria and Europe. And I think that both the Lempergs and the gym that they still operate are a unique piece of Austrian culture. So of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the most famous Austrian bodybuilder of all time. He was actually even somewhat of a mentor to Max Lemberg. But Arnold didn't achieve most of his fame in Austria. He moved to America to compete with the biggest bodybuilders for Mr. Olympia, which is the highest international bodybuilding title. And then he used his success to become a Hollywood movie star and later a politician. Max and his brother never took their bodybuilding careers outside of Europe. And one of the staff at Lemberg Fitness told me that this was because they were unwilling to take the higher doses of steroids demanded of the international bodybuilding stage. Whether this is true or whether they were just unable to compete at the next higher level of bodybuilding, I think that there's something very special about the Lemberg brothers' relative obscurity. Where Arnold Schwarzenegger works out in front of crowds of fans at Muscle Beach, the Lembergs trained for and won their titles out of this relatively obscure and somewhat secluded gym in the 7th District in Vienna. The Lembergs didn't leverage their titles to earn lucrative careers in entertainment or politics, and you can still find Max Lemberg working here from 10 to 5 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday. I actually got to meet him myself last week.
When I met him in person, Max Lemberg was very kind and very excited to take a picture with me. You can tell that he has aged very gracefully since his 1983 Mr. Austria title win, which you saw earlier in this video.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's life as a bodybuilder, actor, and politician is a great story, and he has certainly earned all of the money that he has accumulated over the years. But his is a story of immigrant success in America, not that of an Austrian bodybuilder like Max Lemberg. I think that Max Lemberg is more reflective of the Austrian identity. He wasn't the biggest, the strongest, or the most famous, but through skill and hard work, he found success in pursuing his passion, still quietly helping others to discover weightlifting and personal fitness today.
Conventional sports aside, I actually met a very nice gentleman named Raphael in Salzburg. I saw him performing calisthenics on the street on the way back to my hostel, and emboldened by my recent gymnastics lessons in Vienna, I decided to join him in doing handstands and other tricks on the street. Raphael was thrilled, and he excitedly gave me more tips on how I could improve. He told me that he was from Spain and was traveling through Salzburg on his way to Italy and later Casablanca. Raphael may have been more of a citizen of the world than an Austrian, but it was still a pleasure to meet him.
As Aristotle mentioned, we were able to take some gymnastics classes while in Vienna. Our TA for the program, Vicky, is studying to be a sports education teacher, so I learned a lot from her about sports culture in general here, as well as going to her gymnastics classes with her. A small group of us went to gymnastics, which was so much fun, and also fully in German, which was an interesting experience. We were still able to understand and learn, though, which demonstrated to me firsthand how sports can be used as communication, even with language barriers. Something I talked to Vicky a lot about is the range of ages and skill levels at gymnastics, and the comfortability in trying new things at any age. That is something I don't often notice in the US, as most people I know do a sport from a young age and then either stick with it or stop sports altogether. I loved how everyone at gymnastics wasn't afraid to start as a beginner, even as an adult, and Vicky told me that's a very normal thing in Vienna in many sports. There were teenagers, adults, and even a blind person in our class, all at different levels just having fun and learning. Here's some clips of our skills. The Danube River and Canal in Vienna is a hub of people, especially during the hot summer months. As I was paddleboarding on it one day, I noticed a large group of people swimming upstream with buoys, typical of open water swimmers. This really interested me because I swim open water all the time, both in Portland, Oregon and Santa Barbara, California, and it is a large community in those places of athletes. I started to wonder what the open water swimming culture was like here in Vienna, so I reached out to a nonprofit organization called Swimmer in the Danube Canal, which hosts free open water swimming events. I emailed with one of their members to get more information and would have joined them for a swim if it didn't conflict with class. They've created a large community of people from all ages and backgrounds who connect through swimming and a passion for river conservation. Since we couldn't make it to any of their swims, a group of us in the program hosted our own race in the Danube. It was really cool to share a sport so important to me with my classmates, and we all had a blast. So here are some clips from the race.
Here we are today at the Danube River, where a lot of people like to do open water swims. Unfortunately, we have something going on on the same day as one of their biggest open water swims, so we are hosting our own race. So stay tuned.
In Heat 1 of Event 1, we have Carter Cassidy! He will be facing Aristotle Miller! last but not least, facing these two Polish teams. Take your mark. Get set. Go.
The race you've all been waiting for, James Carney. Racers, take your mark. Get set. Go!
Okay, I'm here with Patrick. He lives here in Vienna and he does triathlons in open water. So how long have you been swimming here in Vienna?
Like for a few months. I just came here. Like I came from I lived in Linz. And yeah.
Okay, cool. And do a lot of people swim in this river? Is it a common thing? Do you know?
Like open water swimming.
Yeah.
I think it gets more popular. So like triathlon gets more popular, especially with the older generation.
Okay. And then have you swam like competitively in pools before too?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and is that popular in Vienna?
Yeah, there are a few like clubs and yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
I had the opportunity to take a tennis lesson with a friend from Vienna who teaches tennis and is also the practice partner for a pro player here as his full-time job. We went to some very nice red sand courts and got some practice in. Although I was very bad, I learned a lot, both about my serving form and also the tennis experience here. He's been playing tennis his whole life, but since it's such an expensive sport, he said that it's not the most common for people to play in Vienna. There are public courts around the city though, and he also talked about playing paddle tennis, which is in a glass box and is popular as just something for fun. He's in a league for this club and can play matches and get paid for them, which I thought was interesting since normally in the US you need to be a pro to do that. But overall, it was a fun experience to learn. Here's a little bit about his experience playing tennis in Vienna. All right, I am here with a tennis player in Vienna. How long have you been playing tennis for?
My whole life.
Your whole life? Did you grow up in Vienna?
I grew up in Vienna and I did a lesson with you yesterday and it was absolutely a disaster.
Okay, do you teach tennis lessons normally?
I do sometimes, yeah.
But what do you do?
No, I teach tennis, yeah. I go with one player on the...
Who's the player? Is he a pro tennis player?
He's a pro, yes. He's a pro.
Bob, the guy you play with normally, really good.
Yeah, it's my job to travel with him and go on tournaments. And
do you enjoy your job? Yes or no?
I enjoy my job a lot. Like I have a lot of fun, but depends with who. If
not your friend.
I mean, if they're kind of decent, like it's fun, and if they're motivated.
Is tennis a big sport in Vienna?
Not really, but it was a lot of pressure still because yeah, just for my family, but and then I went to college. But right now it's like teaching tennis is very simple, especially to the people I have.